Well, now on the show, we're going to take a look at a brand new play that just premiered in Melbourne. It is called Car Crash, and it is a brand new play by playwright Gregory Vines. It's directed by someone that many of you will know as an actress in a lot of Australian movies, Cassandra McGrath, and it centres around two advisors played by Melanie Madrigali and Alec Gilbert, who were advisors to Prince Andrew. And basically, this play is set at the time when all of the information about Prince Andrew and his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, and of course the girls at the centre of that scandal, were coming to light. Now, these two advisors think that it's all going to go away. When it doesn't go away and they have to end their holidays soon, they start to try and think about how they're going to deal with what's been breaking in the news. There's also Elise Batson, who plays Madison, a maid who is often privy to these discussions that is happening as well. Now, Kyle, this is a very, very interesting production because we, of course, in the media, we haven't seen much of people going out and writing something creative about what's happened with the whole Jeffrey Epstein story. So to see a play about Prince Andrew's involvement is actually pretty interesting and very, very original. So how did you find Car Crash?
Yeah, I personally I wasn't sure exactly how to take it at first, like whether they were going to go a comedic route or a more straight drama. I mean, considering the subject matter, it's like pretty serious stuff. But if I hate to say, if there is a comedic side, to be just the absolute buffoonery of Prince Andrew, I guess. And yes, the play really is on that. Not just on the stupidity of the prince himself, but just the idea that, like, well, these people of privilege obviously have a lot of people calling shots and making decisions for them, and just how I guess just how great they've been having it for so long, and then when that kind of that recklessness of their behavior eventually gets them into hot water. Just the ideas that of where that'll take them. I really liked the Madison character.
Yeah.
Being that like it was kind of like a like showing that this is the kind of person that has so much respect for the royal family and the whole scenario, the whole just basically the common person that has the respect for the titles and for that position, and to see do not appreciate whatsoever. It really is something that they almost look at as, like, when they're asking her for her opinion, it really is, oh, see, common person, common person things. And I don't know, it was an interesting, it really was an interesting look at the at just that whole situation. And of course it definitely helps if you have some understanding of what happened. It seems to be set over the course of like several months. The play, like, it kind of just like you come back to these characters later along on the scandal, and it's just interesting seeing like how it progresses. But if you already have an idea of where it's going, and basically know about the interview that Andrew gave that basically sank the whole ship, it's really kind of I mean, it really is kind of like a car wreck. You can't look away from it. You know what's happening. You know what's going to happen. You know how bad things are going to get, and it's just darkly fascinating to watch it all go wrong.
Yeah, well, I thought that the two main characters in this, the two advisors played by Madrigali and Gilbert in this, work really well, because that's what you imagine that palace staff are like. Like, they're out of touch with the common people, and like I just love the way that even like Alec Gilbert really plays it up, like from a comedic point of view of like he's got his bickies and he has to have his bickies every morning and stuff like that. But and I love the way it all like plays out. But for me, I had two kind of issues with the production. I thought, first of all, John Voice appears in this later on as Prince Andrew, and I found that to be a little bit jarring because there's no easy way to say this, but Alec Gilbert actually looks a bit like Prince Andrew. When this play first started and he was sitting on stage, I thought he was playing Prince Andrew, but John Voice, he does a great job acting wise, but unfortunately for him, I actually think he's kind of miscast because he doesn't look anything like Prince Andrew to the point where he's so far removed from Prince Andrew that it's jarring. Like, I don't care if you cast a historical figure in a production and they don't look anything like them, but when it's so obvious that it's jarring, especially when you've got an actor on stage that actually looks a bit like the actual Prince Andrew. The other part too that I was wondering about was MJ Wilson playing a businessman. It added some comedic relief at times, but I had to question why that had to be there. Was it necessary? Because you can't even argue that you kind of had that was the opinion of the common person, because that opinion was coming from Madison. And while, without spoiling anything, that businessman's views on Prince Andrew and what he does changes, I actually thought you could have done that with Madison. There wasn't necessarily a reason to have that other character there. So, yeah, I think this is the kind of production that if they want to do more with it, if Cassandra McGrath wants to do more with this over the years, it might need a little bit of a rewrite just to change some of those things, because it's a great topic that they're exploring. It's also it's well written with the mixture of drama and comedy, but there just seems to be a couple of things in there that didn't quite work.
Yeah, I 100% agree with the casting, especially like right at the start, as you say, right at the start, as the play starts, you think that character is actually supposed to. And I was thinking, oh, okay, that actually looks quite like him. And then as it goes on, you realize, oh, wait, it isn't. But then, like, when the prince actually comes into the play, on that kind of jarringly so, kind of about halfway through the play, I was kind of wondering, wait, who is this supposed to be? As you say, he just didn't look at all like Prince Andrew. Like, I think I thought that he acted fine, but yeah, it was just that the look of the look, he didn't quite have that look. Yeah. And yeah, I just think that even if the play didn't have Prince Andrew in it, I think it would have worked out better than basically having somebody that was supposed to be playing him, but didn't look anything like him. As well as the other, as you say, the businessman character. I'm not quite sure what was going on there. It was like there was. I believe that there was supposed to be like trans messages there as well. Something going on with that character, but yeah, it just seemed completely out of place, especially with the Madison character. Like basically everything that should have been approached with these other characters was already being done by the Madison character. So yeah, it might just need a little bit of refinement for if the play's going to go on another production.
Exactly. Like I said, I thought it was well written, and I thought that some of the performances were really, really well done. As I said, I think Melanie Madrigali and Alec Gilbert were great in their roles, and also I loved Elise Batson playing Madison as well. But I do think that this play does need a little bit of work if it's going to go on to bigger and better things. That is Car Crash that we're talking about, that was on at the Butterfly Club. Keep an eye out, because I'm sure it'll pop up at another theatre at some stage in the future as well. But we've been talking about Car Crash.